Hello, everybody, and welcome to Let the Truth Speak, where we cover information surrounding the Kroger-owned grocery chain King Soopers right here in the state of Colorado. So we're back with another episode here. We have some more news reports to go over that have popped up over the past, several days or so. And we're going to go through them and we're going to go see what all fake news there is to debunk today. So I think there's about 4 of them that we got to go over, and we're going to see, what we can find and what we can dish out, any new information and anything that quite frankly needs to be addressed, talked about, or just simply debunked and very much stated to be a lie. So let's get into it. Keep in mind, some of this stuff, probably a lot of it actually, will probably be repeats of information that we have already covered here on this channel and we've already gone over. So I will be editing out or just straight up skipping a lot of the stuff that I will see as just the same things we've already talked about, and there's no need to talk about it again. So let's go over this here. The first one we got is coming out of Fox 31 at KDVR. Let's go. Denver Metro King Soopers union workers authorized strike. Dates not yet announced. This was posted on January 30th, if I remember correctly. So let's see what they're saying here. The vote meetings were held Wednesday and Thursday, and UFCW Local 7 said 95% of workers in the Denver Meat Bargaining Unit voted to strike, as did 96% of workers in the Denver Retail Bargaining Unit. And I love how they're leaving out the 2 areas that had a 100% yes vote. Gotta love how they just leave that out. They left out a couple other places too, so they only just talk about the Denver area. Looks like, which I get it because this is, it's KDVR, so of course they're only going to cover Denver, but we're supposed to be reporting here, guys. Let's get the full picture, not just pieces of it, and not just the little tiny, aspects of it that are taken out of context so that you can manipulate it. Now let's see the whole picture. Please. That's why this channel exists, because I'm here to give you the whole picture. I'm not taking pieces out. I'm not being overly biased, even though I do have a bias. But when it comes to reporting information, I want to try to get all of the information out, all of it, even the things that King Super says, because we need the full picture here. That's called journalism. That's what real investigative journalism is. That's what real reporting is, KDVR, not just pieces of it. Don't just mention the Denver bargaining unit. Well, what about Parker? What about Broomfield? Come on, guys. Represent the whole damn picture. King Soopers repeatedly called on the union to allow members to vote on the company's offer. That is a stupid sentence. That is also a stupid claim, because literally that's what these votes were for. Hello. It was to see people have been given ample chance to vote on your last, best, and final offer. Everybody has seen it already. Stop making statements like this to make it sound like the union is literally preventing information being, given to the employees. That is totally false. That is totally disingenuous, and it's a straight lie. It's the exact opposite, and this is what people need to understand. The union is the one that's actually doing their absolute best to give all information to the employees. And you're the ones, Joe, who are actively interfering with that. So don't misinterpret, don't represent what's going on here. Come on now. The company said the union has not put forth wage proposals during negotiations, is prematurely calling for a strike vote, had delayed the bargaining process with over 250 requests for information, and engaged in single topic bargaining, neglecting other crucial matters at the negotiation table. That whole thing is so bad. Oh my God. Look, you can't have a two-sided negotiation if you're the ones that are withholding data. Of course the union is making over 250 requests for information because you're not giving it and you're continuously ignoring the requests. You're continuously fumbling with providing accurate and true data. You're making mistakes like typos and presenting wrong sheets. You're completely missing data entirely. To this day, you still haven't provided staffing data and sales data, which, Kelly, people kind of need that data to make an accurate and fair proposal. How are you going to sit here and complain about the union not making putting forward wage proposals during negotiations and is premature on strike votes when you're the ones that are withholding information? This is so disingenuous here. It's insane, man. Good God. This is so stupid. It's good Lord. Let's continue. The offer presented to the union, according to King Soopers, provided significant wage growth. No, it did not. Providing a $4.50 per hour increase over a 4-year contract for top-rate clerks, department heads, and pharmacy techs. No, it's not. I also want to bring up something real quick regarding pharmacy techs. Pharmacy techs didn't get a damn thing in the last contract, and now all of a sudden they are in this one. So, this is false. Well, we've already gone over that, but it's false. And proposed changes to its healthcare plan. Yeah, negative changes. You're siphoning from it to fund the wage increases. Proposing at the most a mere increase of $3 a week. Good God. Our goal from the beginning has been to honor the collective bargaining process while we invest more money in our associates' paychecks and keep groceries affordable for our customers, said Joe Kelly, president of King Soopers and City Market, in a release. Really? Honor the collective bargaining process? Bro, you haven't even been to a single bargaining process. We know all too well that nobody wins in a strike. And our hope is that Local 7 will be reasonable and do its best for our associates and allow their voices to be heard by calling for a vote on our last, best, and final offer instead of focusing on disruption. See, they're literally trying to just shove their last, best, and final offer down everybody's throats when it is very illegal. It is very unsatisfactory. It is very disconnected from their employees and their own issues that they're having in the company. Good God, fuck you, Joe, for saying this shit like that. You're like, nobody wins in a strike. But please, we hope that Local 7 will be, let's read this again. We hope that Local 7 will be reasonable and do what's best for our associates. Bro, you've not been doing what's best for your own associates for years. For years, you've been blatantly ignoring your own issues. This is so hypocritical of you to say, and allow their voices to be heard. Again, you have been actively interfering with communications, which in turn is allowing or not allowing employees' voices to be heard. Once again, another hypocritical thing for you to say by calling for a vote on our last, best, and final offer instead of focusing on disruption. Focusing on disruption. Joe, you've been disrupting your own company and your own employees and the community of Colorado for decades. And you have got to pay the piper. Okay? The only people who are being disruptive is you and your stupid little club. Okay? This ridiculous that you're out here saying shit like this. Good God. Fox 31 reached out to Kroger. This is going to be interesting. King Soopers' parent company and received this statement. It's about time Kroger said something. Let's see what the hell they had to say. While disappointed by the outcome of Local 7 obtaining strike authorization, King Soopers remains committed to its primary focus of increasing associates' paychecks while keeping groceries affordable for customers. This is not starting off good. The National Labor Relations Board has not determined King Soopers has committed an unfair labor practice during these negotiations. Are you fucking serious? The company holds itself to the highest ethical standard and is confident that the union's allegations of unfair labor practices are unfounded. Really now? Really? Hey, Kroger, why don't you come talk to us? You know, the workers who actually work for you in your subsidiary, King Soopers, here in Colorado, why don't you actually come interview us? Why don't you come talk to us and then see if all this shit is unfounded or not? Because we're the ones that are saying it. It's not just the union. We're the ones that have seen this shit firsthand. It's why this channel exists. Hey, Kroger, why don't you come talk to me? Why don't you come talk to me? Why don't you go talk to anybody who has 8 years like I do, 10 years, longer worth of experience of seeing this shit over and over and over again? Unfounded my ass. This shit is real. This shit is real. And you guys coming out and denying it as a parent company and just completely ignoring it and just not looking at what's really going on, you guys are just to blame, as King Soopers is. Just to blame. You're proving right now you're just as bad, too. Good God. What else did they have to say? Additionally, the company believes that the union's move to seek a strike vote authorization is premature. Please. Given they have not allowed associates to vote on the company's last, best, and final offer, they have given us a chance. We already did. Why do you think 2 areas had a 100% yes vote rate? Because they were literally, people had a copy of the entire last, best, and final offer in their hands. They have already reviewed every page of it when they made the vote to strike. This is totally false statement. Everybody has had a chance to review the offer, look at it, and everybody has unanimously said this offer is bullshit. I don't know why you guys keep continuing to make this statement that the union is not allowed associates to vote on the company's offer when they clearly have. Everybody has read it. For God's sakes, I have a copy of it, and we're going to go over it in a future video. In fact, I've obtained a copy of not only this last best offer by Kings, I've obtained a copy of the previous contract back in 2022. We're also going to go over that in a future video. So I don't know why they keep making this false claim that nobody's being allowed to vote on the company's last best offer. That's what these votes were for. It wasn't just a strike vote, but it was literally straight up asking, do you people like this offer? And guess what? The unanimous decision is no. Get over it. Why don't you actually figure out why people want to strike instead of making these false bullshit claims? The offer includes significant wage investments. No, they don't. We've already gone over that. Along with industry-leading healthcare and a secure pension. Also false, and we have gone over that. Good God, you guys are a joke. that is it for this article. We're going to move on to the next one. Okay. See if there's anything here. This is coming out of Denver 7, ABC. Good God. Oh, wonderful. Well, we're going to go over it anyways. King Soopers employees across Colorado vote to strike. UFCW Local 7. Workers in the Denver Metro, Boulder, Broomfield, and Parker units authorized the unfair labor practice strike on Thursday. The Colorado Springs and Pueblo units will vote on Friday and Saturday. That is information we already know. Already gone over it. Looks like this came out on January 30th as well. So apparently it was updated 57 minutes ago. That's interesting. The vote comes after King Soopers and Local 7, which represents more than 10,000 more. Yeah. We've already seen all this stuff. Failed to reach an agreement. The original contract expired at 11:59 p.m. on January 16th. Prior to the contract, Joe Kelly, the president, he was doing everything he could to avoid a strike. No, he was not. We've had 13 sessions with Local 7. 14, actually. And although we've given them our proposal back on December 4th, a very, we think, aggressive, comprehensive offer, increase in wages, increase in pension, maintaining our healthcare plans for our associates. Unfortunately, they're stalling, and we don't understand why, Kelly said at the time. Do I really have to go over again how false this is? First of all, let me say, he is incorrect on the 13 sessions. It's actually 14 sessions. And of course, Joe doesn't exactly know how many sessions they have because he hasn't been to any of them at all. And next on this little statement of his, we've given them our proposal back in December 4th, a very, we think, aggressive, comprehensive offer. You call this aggressive? Really? You call underpaying the value of your workers compared to the value of your sales in your company aggressive? You call siphoning out of the healthcare plan and to fund these weak-ass wage increases that are not even across the board aggressive? Really? Huh. That's fascinatingly pathetic and is interestingly bullshit. Increase in wages, increase in pension, maintaining our health care plans for our associates. You're not. That's a literal lie that you just said. You're not maintaining your health care plans for your associates. You're literally taking away from it. Unfortunately, they're stalling. Nobody here is stalling except you. You're the one that's stalling, Joe, by not providing all of the data that is needed to have a proper bargaining negotiation. You're not allowing the union to make proper proposals because you're not giving all of the information that they were requesting. For God's sakes, they've given you over 250 requests. They're the ones that are not stalling. You are. Anybody who has to ask that many requests for data, hello? That should be telling that you're the ones that are stalling, not the people who are giving the requests. This is such a stupid statement, and we don't understand why. Oh, really? I wonder if it's because you've been smoking too much marijuana. Or I wonder, maybe you don't get it. Maybe you don't understand why. Because you haven't been to a single meeting. Maybe you'd get the answer to all of your questions, Joe, if you actually attended a single fucking meeting. Did you ever think of that? King Soopers responded to the strike vote early Friday morning, saying the company was increasing associates' paychecks while keeping groceries affordable for customers. That's one of the issues, dude. That is not something you should be bragging about. That is one of the issues. Specifically the first part of it. How is this so hard to understand on a business level? You're supposed to be the goddamn president of the company. How is this so hard to get? It also claimed that the National Labor Relations Board had not determined King Soopers committed an unfair labor practice during these negotiations because they're being extremely biased. That's why, and corrupt, and they're not looking at the entire picture of what's going on here. And they're also clearly, if they're saying stuff like this, they're also not taking into account that you have literally already committed illegal acts. And you're, for God's sakes, you're being sued by the state of Colorado itself. So this doesn't make sense to me that the National Labor Relations Board is not making these determinations when there are 3 lawsuits going against King Soopers. Like this, good God. Clearly corruption runs in there too. Looks like that is it for this article. Let's move on to the next article. The Colorado Sun. We couldn't do that last article. I edited it out because I totally forgot it's the Denver Post and you have to sign up for them. And hell no, I'm not signing up for you. Anyways, so let's go to the Colorado Sun. Denver area King Soopers workers, which is the final. This is the final one. Denver area King Soopers workers vote to strike over unfair labor practices. 3 years ago, the union conducted a planned walkout for 9 days after contracts expired in early January. But back then, only stores in the Denver area participated because their contracts had expired. Now that it's late January, more contracts have ended. This is true. This is true. The strike was... This is another reason why this strike is going to be bigger than the last one. Workers in Colorado Springs and Pueblo are scheduled to vote Friday and Saturday whether to authorize a strike. Fort Collins, Greeley, Longmont, and Loveland contracts expire February 15th. Let me tell you something. Last time it wasn't as big. That's true. But it was still pretty big for what it was. Even though not all of the areas went on strike, the amount of people that were striking for the areas that did go on strike was still pretty massive. So taking that in consideration, we have more people showing up for those same locations that went on strike last time. On top of that, we're going to have more locations joining the strike this time compared to last strike. So taking that in consideration, the scope of this, the sheer scope of this is huge. It's huge. It's really big. So let's move on. Before the first vote was held, King Soopers told the union that its last, best, and final offer would increase the average hourly wage to $29.48, a $4.50 per hour increase for the top rate clerks. The grocer's proposal expires Friday, January 31st. This right here, average hourly rate wage to 29.48 cents. That is not accurate information. That's not true. It is not going to be that high. Especially on an average level. Keep in mind the word average level. That is false. This number, this value is false. Let it be known the Colorado Sun is misreporting this here. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves. That is not true. That is not true. All right, so that is it for all of the news reports here. That's everything that we got. And let me tell you something. I have to admit, this is my favorite aspect of this show, is when we go through news reports and stuff like this, because there is so much misrepresentation, false statements being made. And I really like having the opportunity through this channel to actually bring it to the forefront and actually address and tell you in detail and with things that we've already covered how false it actually is, how much of a straight up lie it is, and just how misrepresented it is, and how much context is actually missing here. And that's the whole reason why I'm very much going to enjoy doing this, because I'm going to be out here bringing the context that is blatantly being ignored and manipulated to be taken out. I want to bring the context, bring the full picture of what is being said on not just all sides here, but even things that are just not being said at all. And things that are not being covered at all. Like I talked about in the last video, where, we were talking about what happened at Store 98. in Colorado Springs. Literally, that's not being talked about. Keep in mind, and I'm glad I brought that up. If there's anything you should take away from this video, every one of those news articles that we went through, do y'all recall them talking anywhere at all about what happened at Store 98 a week ago? And that's what I'm talking about there. That's what I'm talking about. It's a good example. They have not talked about a single piece of information regarding that story. And that is huge, especially considering that we just had a shooting recently. So why the hell should we trust these freaking people who keep coming out with these bullshit articles that are literally repeating themselves, repeating information that we've already discussed, that everybody already knows about, and then the information that they're peddling is straight up biased lies? Why should we listen to them? But luckily for everybody, I'm here. And I'm gonna shut this shit down. Because here, we let the truth speak. I will catch you guys on the next video or the next report, and I will see you out there. Have a good day, and peace to you.